Welcome back. For the video today, I'm actually combining two things I wanted to do because on one hand, a few weeks ago, something happened with Alex Myers and his whole community, and I was thinking it would make a good video, but then I wasn't sure if I would be able to actually talk about it for that long. And then today I was like, oh, I'm gonna look through Dylan's the Troublemakers Reddit because I recently just got Reddit again, and I thought that would be interesting. But then as I was looking through it, I realized that he was having the exact same issue as the Alex Myers community was. So now we're gonna talk about both of them at the same time. And this is really just gonna be a sense of how online I am, and possibly now that you have a real adult job, you might not be as online anymore. Because a few weeks ago, Alex Myers made a video on Encanto, and I don't really watch him that much anymore, mostly because of the same reasons why a lot of people didn't like this movie commentary, because people were saying he just keeps falling into this narrative that every single movie is dumb or stupid, and there just hasn't really been a movie that he enjoys lately. So it's just kind of upsetting sometimes when I see that he did a commentary on a movie I love, and I'm just I know he's just gonna not just roast it, but just call it dumb the whole time. And yeah, I was just not interested, but he was doing a commentary on Encanto, and I really liked that movie, so I was okay, fine, let me give it a try, let me watch it. And yeah, it was kind of the same thing. It was really weird. The whole point of the movie kind of went over his head, it feels and he was saying things that just didn't even actually they just weren't factual. He said something about how he was even the songs in this movie aren't good. None of these songs were popular. None of them reached the same levels as other Disney songs, and that's just not true. And so many people in the comments said that, where they were I don't know where you were the summer that Encanto came out, but We Don't Talk About Bruno was everywhere, and Lin-Manuel Miranda won an award for that. I don't know if it was a Tony or something, but he won an award because it was a really popular song, and it was charting for a while. And yeah, everyone was just what are you talking about? That's just kind of an annoying thing where it's you could have looked that up. Just because you, an adult 35-year-old man, isn't aware of what Disney songs are popular, that doesn't mean it wasn't popular at all. That was annoying. And then he just kind of I felt he blatantly didn't understand any of the generational trauma or the characters at all. When it was talking about Isabella, they he just started making a joke being oh no, your life's so difficult because it's so perfect all the time, that must be so hard for you. And it's just that literally her entire song was about feeling she has to be perfect and feeling she can't fail at all. And that's just a real feeling a lot of people have. And yeah, it was just really weird that he immediately was just I don't know, goes into the stereotypes of her character, but it's did you not just listen to the whole song? And then yeah, he just kept saying dumb stuff that, where it just was very clear that he wasn't even paying attention while he was watching the movie, and was just trying to make jokes the whole time. And so I kind of felt I was glad a bunch of people in the comments were calling him out, because I was yeah, that it was just kind of annoying. And I was just expecting him to post something to be oh, I'm sorry, I guess I should have paid more attention to the movie. But then it turns out he did not do that. And I checked on the video a week later, and he made a comment where he goes, I guess this movie just wasn't for me. I wasn't going out of my way to be contrarian. Kelsey and I watched the movie and we're just like, eh. I guess I don't think flashy colors, special effects, and themes of trauma make a movie inherently immune to criticism. And like, that's not what people were saying at all. Like, first of all, that just seems so, like, almost like talking down, like belittling kind of to his audience. Like, because people were bringing up like actually good points that they kind of were bothered at him by. And, like, yeah, he was just like, nobody was like, you have to love the movie because there's like flashy colors and special effects, or just being like, just because there's themes of trauma doesn't make it a good movie. Yeah, people were being like, I don't think you're helping your case. Like, they were just like, ugh. And then people were like commenting back great things. Someone says, I think there's a huge difference between criticism and just not even paying attention to the art piece at all. There are many YouTubers who have had criticisms of this movie and weren't as affected by it as so many others were, but they weren't bashed in their comment section because their criticisms were indeed opinions and couldn't just be answered by paying attention to the movie. You're just coming off as not even trying to get it. And then, yeah, someone like quoted him saying like, I guess I don't think flashy colors, special effects, and themes of trauma make a movie inherently immune to criticism. And they were just like, yeah, wrap this up. Like, you didn't need to say this. Someone quotes again something he said during the video where he goes, why is Maribel trying to save her house? And they said, because it's her home, her family's legacy, her friend. And then another quote, what is she saving the house from? And they go, that's ... the plot, the whole mystery she's trying to solve. Like, Encanto isn't immune from criticism, but come on, pay attention. And then, yeah, someone goes, Alex, the point of the vast criticism and a correction to this video was not about your opinion or that you went out of your way to be contrarian. It was that you blatantly appeared to go out of your way to not even pay attention to the actual film. Your criticism was born from a lack of attentiveness rather than a lack in any storytelling on the film's part. When combined with significant ignorance from you rather than any legitimate criticism, it felt like you made this one for numbers alone, thinking the jokes would save it. It didn't, and that sucks for you. But that doesn't mean that the criticism you're receiving here is unwarranted or inaccurate. Many people don't like this film or the ending act, but at least they do so understanding it rather than willfully ignoring its themes and dialogue. Maybe you need a vacation. Oh my god. Yeah, they're just like, it is not good. Let me try and see if I can find some that, because those are all replying directly to his comment. And I mean, the top comment was saying Encanto doesn't have any memorable songs. It's insane because We Don't Talk About Bruno was literally everywhere for months. You couldn't escape it. Yeah, like, yeah, he said the songs in this movie are kind of whatever. I say you're in the minority, good sir. Another one that has like thousands of likes says, it feels like your dedication to bad movies has made you forget what good movies look like. Oof. When someone says this feels like rage bait. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's been like because I watched it when it had just come out, so it was like people were really reacting then, and now it's kind of been like drowned out a little bit because this was 3 weeks ago. But yeah, someone quoted like, we know that Maribel wants to save the house, but we don't know how or why. And they said, that's how ... is the whole point of her journey, like, that she doesn't know and has to find out. As for the why, do you really need to have it spelled out why someone would want to save the house where their family and themselves live, the house that is alive and literally another part of the family? I'm sorry, what? What is not clicking about a kid wanting to keep her house from being destroyed? Oh my god. Oh yeah, this was another thing. He like didn't, I guess, just was like not paying attention to the fact that Isabella didn't want to marry that guy. And because yeah, he like said some whole thing about that. And like when she finally did say like I didn't want to marry him, he was like, that was just thrown in randomly, and everyone was like, no, oh my god, what? Like, it's, yeah, everyone's just being like, the symbolism to this movie is so unsubtle, and like, yeah, it was just like annoying, because it's like, he kept saying that things were just thrown in randomly, and there was no like foreshadowing to anything, and it's just like, yeah, there was, dude. Like, it's a kids movie, what do you mean? Yeah, anyway, so then I went over to Dylan's subreddit tonight, and I was like ready to just like go through some funny things, but I started seeing like posts where people are making jokes about like the fandom being at war, or people being like, do you think Dylan's gonna react to this in a subreddit video? Or people were like, oh, he's gonna make his apology video for the year. And I was like, wait, what? Like, what? How am I out of the loop with something? Like, what is he apologizing for? And I scroll down, and oh my god, it's also about Encanto, which like is so funny, because when I saw that he posted for Encanto and I watched it, I literally commented like, I'm so happy that you enjoyed this movie. This feels like an antithesis to Alex Myers hating it. And because like I felt like Dylan was like reading into the plot really well, and like understanding the characters, and like I thought it was great. And I finally found like a pretty long post explaining, sort of, I mean, it's mostly just like they're going over like their own thoughts about the controversy. And at first because I started seeing things where people were like, oh, like he made insensitive jokes, and I was like trying to think, because I was like, what could be insensitive? I was like, was it that like he wanted to like have sex with the grandma? Like I like could not remember. And I think, and like I kind of get it, guys, but like this is just the hush hush thing all over again. Like, I think people are upset because he was making jokes about the like the war in it, which I'm like pretty sure is supposed to be like, I don't even know, like some, like I was about to be like the Spanish like insurrection or something, and then I was like, actually I don't think that's what it is, because they might not be in Spain. But yeah, like it was like, obviously it was kind of based off of something that happened in history, but like Dylan loves violence in movies, and also like he's made it so clear multiple times that he doesn't connect movies to the real world, and like that's the whole point. So like, why do you want him to like do something that he's not gonna do? Because he's made that so clear. Anyway, so like, let me read this giant Reddit post. So someone said, I've been seeing a lot of discourse about his recent upload reacting to the Encanto movie, and in the beginning of the whole discussion, I hadn't even seen the video. I read the posts and comments, and I honestly was expecting heavily insensitive jokes, but I finally watched it, and do I think the jokes were somewhat out of pocket? Yes, but Dylan has always been out of pocket. Here are some things I see happening. 1, Dylan acted the same way he has always acted. The same jokes, the same weird desires for violence act, but because he's making jokes about things that you being the people with the issues, consider to care about, it's now a problem. A lot of people personally resonated with the movie, so I feel as if a lot of people are taking this as a personal attack, rather him making comments about random cartoon characters. 2, piggybacking on that, since so many had this deep-rooted connection with generational trauma, y'all wanted Dylan to have a really soft spot for the movie like y'all. But since Dylan didn't act the way you believe he should have, that also became a problem. Does this movie have sad themes and discusses some hard things? Yeah, sure, but at the end of the day, it's a Disney movie. Number 3, another thing that bugs me is in the video, Dylan actively takes a second from the jokes to actually discuss the topics that were being expressed throughout the movie. He acknowledges the fact this is rooted in generational trauma and traumas from war. He understands the concepts of the mountains blocking them off from the rest of the world. A lot of people are so hell-bent on being upset and think he's an insensitive white guy that they refuse to actually listen to him when he does stop the jokes and discusses the film's story. Number 4, the jokes themselves, not my favorite from him, but not new, like, at all. Like, this is Dylan. It has always been him. Number 5, also, him not knowing about a war in a country that he doesn't live in is really not relevant. I don't really see him knowing it's a civil war would really change a single thing in that video. Long story short, I do believe being able to have criticism is very valid, but I think a lot of people complaining just were mainly upset because Dylan didn't act the way they wanted him to. He acted just like himself, and regardless if he was able to actually discuss the themes intellectually at multiple points in the film while also keeping his same attitude. Regardless. Oh, okay, hold on, I kind of read that wrong. He acted just like himself, and regardless, they needed a comma there, he was able to actually discuss the themes intellectually at multiple points in the film while also keeping his same attitude. People want to turn the other way and stay upset. You can't really change him. It's not going to happen. And I think these themes having culture and developed personal feelings in people, it felt like a personal attack on some. If my reading seemed weird, it's because there's so many typos in this. And then comments under this, people are saying, like, I agree. Yeah, there are a couple jokes that were a bit tone deaf, but overall he was more locked into this movie than he has been for a movie commentary in a long while. But yeah, he's just unserious. I understand where people are coming from, but then that applies to every film commentary in some way or another. And other people are saying, is like, people have a soft spot for Encanto. And like, that's just why that, like, they're really going after him. And yeah, like, so many people were saying, like, they were uncomfortable because he was making, like, jokes about the war, I guess. And he was, like, making jokes, like, during the really sad song. And yes, someone commented, heavy on number 2. I get it, because I also want him to like the movies I like, and I did like Encanto. Did his jokes / laughing during the flashbacks take away from the impact of the scene? Definitely. Did it feel a little insensitive? Sure. But this is Dylan, and he will always play up his violent jokes and hopes for death. He does not care about the same things we care about. He's also a white man. A lot of POC struggle movies won't resonate with him in the same way. And at the end of the day, it's just a movie. Dylan's not going to laugh and make jokes about an actual war. Oh my goodness. And then we get to, apparently some people were thinking that, like, he was, like, I guess, saying that, like, all of the characters looked like rats, which is not what he said. He wasn't saying Colombian people looked like rats. He was saying that just the grandma kind of had the features of a rat, which I agree with, which I totally understand. When he paused on that, like, freeze frame, I was like, he's gonna say something about, like, her side profile, because yeah, it was crazy. And I hadn't seen anything about that first, but then I see this comment that says every single character in that movie is designed with ethnic features. He clearly wasn't saying all Colombians because of their ethnic features look like rats. He explained clearly why the animation choice made him think of a rat. He also talks about how attracted he is to other ethnic characters. It was immature, and I think, it wasn't immature, and I think that was intentional. To be an immature insult for why he doesn't like the grandma anymore. But I think it's a stretch to imply that he was making a racist joke. And then yeah, someone replies to that and says, be for real, because he was not calling her a rat because she had ethnic features. He was thirsting over Isabella, who literally has the same face but younger. And like, he was thirsting over the grandma, like, multiple times before that. It wasn't just like, oh my goodness, it wasn't like he literally was saying that he would sleep with the grandma for like first half of the movie, and then all of a sudden when he started disliking her, he was like, you know what, and she also looks like a rat. Like, oh my goodness. Okay, the next post goes, the title is, I don't get why people are upset at Dylan for the Encanto video. He always calls for murder, saying that because it's a murder of a specific group of people, it's wrong for him to say so is dumb. Humor is humor. Encanto itself didn't provide the viewers with any indication that some aspects were based on real events, so we honestly can't be expected to know the history of every single country. Also, we need to acknowledge that Disney did not make this to spread awareness of the situation. They simply took real-world events, fictionalized them, and profited off of them. How are we supposed to know how much is real or if they are at all? And as for him saying that Abuela looks like a rat, this again, he has made fun of the way other real people look in the past, so I don't get why people are so upset that he made fun of a fictional woman. Like, you can talk about anyone's appearance without it being about race. If he said all the women looked like rats, then I guess I could kind of see a point there, but he said about one girl. How is that targeting the entire race? There's tons of white people with big-ass noses. Y'all just want to cry about something. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I feel like he explained it the best in his apology, or like, it wasn't even an apology, but like the video he made about Hush Hush, where, and like, at the time, I didn't like, I was kind of like, this is kind of weird, but like, I've just grown to understand it, where like, he was explaining I think, I just remember him being like, there's like two paths, and, like, one is, like, the real world, and one is, like, the fictional world, and if I'm in the fictional world, I am not, like, crossing over, and I think that's weird just because, like, I personally bring so much from fiction into the real world, like, I love drawing those connections, but I also, like, I guess I can understand, like, once I just wrapped my head around that, I was like, that's how he works, and unless he's watching something that, like, he physically, like, cannot not make it about the real world, like if it's like a political movie or something, like he's not gonna be doing that. And yeah, like parents die in almost every Disney movie, so like like I think he literally made jokes about in Frozen when like those parents died, and it's just kind of annoying to be like, oh, the fact he was making jokes about like this one specifically is an issue. And yeah, oh my goodness, like, I mean, when I was watching Encanto, I did kind of think like this seems realistic to something that probably happened, but that's just because it's like in Europe and there's always war and people killing things. Yeah, and I don't know, the top comment under this is that saying, no one was upset by the video, shaking my head, someone had only explained that a joke made them uncomfortable. It's people like you that are making this a bigger deal. So maybe it wasn't actually a big deal. I don't know. Yeah, it's just like such an interesting, it's kind of surprising because I want to be like, I wonder if these are the same people that were here, like, during the whole Hush Hush debacle, or, like, if this is, like, new fans. And I agree with the first post that I read, where they were saying, like, people only care now because, like, it's something that they care about, and, yeah, because it's, like, he's made jokes about, like, people dying, children dying, like children getting murdered, and like the whole family's dying. Like he's made so many jokes, but now that it's like maybe like something in your culture, you're upset by it and you're like, oh, that's actually insensitive, and it's kind of like, well, no, because you were laughing at the jokes when it was other cultures or children or white people. Like it's just like, so you were fine with his violent jokes, but like, yeah, I did not, like, going into that movie, I fully was like, yeah, he's not going to get emotional during the sad scene, like, yeah, it doesn't really matter, especially because it comes after the grandma has been the villain for the whole movie, so, like, I didn't really get emotional during that either, and, like, I get it, some people, like, sobbed during that scene, and I don't even know, I'm like, yeah, guys, it's sad, I get it, but, like, you pressed on a video of like a white man reacting to a movie and you wanted him to like get emotional about a scene, really? Yeah, I don't know. It was so interesting. Like, if someone says, I'm sorry, but people need to actually go away with them making a joke about a person of color. So picking at something to make fun of is okay, so long as they're a white girl. You're not exempt from jokes because you're a person of color, and having a distinction like that is weird. And someone replies and says, right, as a Latino with a big ass nose, I respectfully disagree with not being able to make fun of it. If he had made fun of her nose specifically because the grandma's Latina, that would have been different. I promise us Latinos in real life don't give a shit. We make fun of each other all the time. Yeah, if he had been like, oh, she looks like a rat because she's Latina, that's completely different. Oh my goodness. Yeah, someone else goes, I'm sorry, but the nose thing is ridiculous. I'm Latina. I have a big nose. I didn't react at all to his jokes because I never thought of them as racial. He didn't make fun of her nose because she's Latina. I promise. If you ask any other Latino, not an American, like with Latin or with Latino American ascent, like someone born and raised in Latin America, most will say the same. We make fun of each other all the time. We don't think of ourselves as above light banter. It's not that serious. Oh my god. Like, oh god. Okay, hold on. Let's see if there's any other major ones. But yeah, I was just like very shocked because I had no clue that this was happening, and like people were making jokes. Okay, it looks like I'm trying to scroll down and it looks like that it was gone. Like it was just like a few days ago. People were just like discussing it for a day, maybe. So maybe it was just one person made a post and like the whole thing blew up. But someone made like a fake YouTube thumbnail that acts like he's like a news reporter, and it says like breaking news, and then like the part underneath him says addressing my toxic ass community, and everyone says is this his way of addressing the Encanto issue? And like that'd be so funny, which like I actually respected him so much after the Hush Hush thing when he came back, and instead of like, because but the whole time I watched that, I didn't think there was any issue. And I was like, damn, he's gonna make like a whole apology and like feel so bad. And then he came back and was like clowning on people so hard. And it was so funny. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to see like the first thing. So I opened it and someone said, I'm new to this subreddit and it's already chaos. And I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. And like, let me see, maybe like what the first thing I found. See, now people are just talking about like Temptation Island, which is also crazy. But yeah, I just think it's hilarious that like both these YouTubers got called out in like from the same movie. And like it's just so interesting because do you think there's another movie in recent times that like has this much of a connection to people? And like I get it when it's like a very specific like cultural thing. And the thing with Alex was it felt like he had never heard of like generational trauma before. Like he was acting like he was just acting like he didn't understand the entire movie. But Dylan, on the other hand, like he understood all of the trauma. He was just joking around that he wanted more people to die. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I don't know. I just like I opened it and all of a sudden people were talking about like, oh, do we think he's gonna make an apology? And I was like, is there something he should have been apologizing about? And yeah, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, is it really that serious? Because come on, people. But yeah, that is mostly what I came on here to talk about, because I don't know, sometimes people online are so interesting and have just insane opinions. But hopefully this is all like new to you, because like I don't know. I thought about calling you to talk about this when it was just Alex Myers, and then I was like, you know what? If I get more content for this would be a good little podcast. So I'm glad this came up too, I guess. Um, I'm already at like the 30-minute mark, so I don't need to do this, but I was just thinking I also could have pulled up the like Alex Myers subreddit, but this was 3 weeks ago, so it might have been like harder to find the posts now. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Dylan reacts to any of this. I mean, he only checks the subreddit like every 2 months, and then usually he just does like by the highest, so it probably won't be like the highest voted thing. It just kind of depends on if any of like maybe like someone like the editor mentions it to him or something. I didn't even see anyone like in the comments of that video caring at all. So yeah, sometimes it's just like you just find like that one person that's like, I was kind of uncomfortable by the joke, and then everyone is like, yeah, you know what, he's racist, and it's like, oh my god, that's not what happened at all. But yeah, anyway, that's where I'm gonna wrap up. I'll see you in the next video. Comment, like, subscribe, ring that bell. Bye.